And now, Effective Communication with Phil Zeller, CEO, Dale Carnegie, Southwest Michigan.
Mr. Phil, I got a question for you, sir. Yeah, what is it, Caden? Mr. Phil, do you have ADHD? Caden, I do not know what ADHD is. Please share with me. What is ADHD, Caden? For the next 10 minutes, I was educated by a fifth grader on ADHD. Now, you may be asking, what is ADHD? I didn't know what it was either. But apparently, there are over 11 million people afflicted with ADHD. And Caden has diagnosed me as being one of those people afflicted with ADHD. And due to my own ignorance, I didn't know what it was. But after 10 minutes of listening to Caden, a fifth grader, share with me that I have ADHD. So look at that. He's going to be a future doctor. I'm getting analyzed here. And he shares this with me, and I said, well, you know what, Caden, maybe I do. After you described that for 10 minutes and really made it come clear to me what is ADHD, maybe I do have it. I just haven't been diagnosed by anybody. Maybe somebody listening to the show is like, yeah, Phil, you got ADHD, man. Because I'm going to validate what a fifth grader says, right? So I asked Hayden, I said, so maybe I do. What do you think? What should I do? And he goes, that's not really why I wanted to talk to you, Mr. Phil. He goes, but that's why I want to talk to you. And I said, well, tell me about it, buddy. He goes, I've been watching you. And yeah, you've got ADHD. And he goes, my real question is, what do you do about it? And I said, well, what specifically do you mean? And Caden goes, how do you deal with it? How do you cope with it? What do you do? Because, you can be all over the place. And I'm like, Caden, wherever I'm at is where I'm at. He goes, what do you mean? I said, well, I have to be present in the moment that I'm in. I can't be in any other moment. I can only be in the present I'm in right now. And that's here with you, having this conversation. He said, wow, that's really cool, Mr. Phil. I don't know how to do that. And I shared with Caden that it takes work. It takes work to be present in the moment with anybody. But I share that conversation with you today, my friends, because oftentimes we forget about the part of listening. We forget about listening. In communication, we often think, okay, it's what I'm going to say, and is it going to have impact, and are they going to do something as a result of my communication? All truths, all things we need to focus on. But my mother always said to me, Philip, there's a reason you have two of these and one of these. Use them in proportion, comparing my ears to my mouth, right? And I learned as a young child, pay attention. Listen to what's said, to what's not said. You think about people reading body language, and when we talk about communication, how we have to incorporate our body into our communication because our body language speaks volumes to our listeners. Well, what are you reading when you're listening to other people? And what's your body language saying when you're truly listening to another human being speak? Think about it. You've all been there before. You're watching the football game. Maybe you don't watch football. Maybe it's a different sport. But I'm watching the football game, and all of a sudden my wife comes up to me and she wants to have a conversation about something. And I'm in the middle of watching the football game. I've learned, though, this is how you keep a marriage working for years. You communicate more effectively. I put it on pause. We can do that now. We have the technology, my friends. We could put the TV on pause. So I pause the TV and I turn to my wife and I give her my attention. And I notice when I do that, oh my gosh, she gets a smile on her face, and all of a sudden, that's a cool thing. We're connecting. And it's a good thing to do, like I said, to keep your marriage healthy. Because some guys are like, I'll talk to you after the game, right? No, if you have the technology, use it, my friends. Your significant other is much more important than what's going to happen in that game in 30 seconds. And it's okay, because if you play the conversation right and you know how to lead it and you listen to the show and you get all the tips on the show, you'll have that wonderful conversation with your wife. You'll complete it within the next 2 minutes. And then you can go back and play the show out, watch the rest of your football game. So when you're doing this with people, I'm going to challenge you. Be present in the moment with people. What is it that they want to share with you? Why do they want to share it with you? Why do they want you to understand? What is it that they want you to understand? And when you're present in the moment and you're truly listening to the other person, it's amazing how much time you'll save because you'll get the information you need so you can act on it and get back to doing something else that you want to get done. So make better use of your time. Be present in the moment. Listen to others, and you'll get more out of life. Now go make it happen.